Welcome to Function Pilates with Vanessa Kelly. Thank you so much for joining me today as we take a look at footwork on the reformer, where overall we will break down the purpose and objective of why footwork is done and how it benefits our bodies, the muscle focus as to which areas of your body are targeted, and how to engage and activate these muscles while moving through the exercise. Plus, we'll go through a recommended spring guide on how to understand on a deeper level and choose your spring selection, moving through an overall general setup of getting started and areas of modifications and variations that can be integrated to better support your personal practice. Footwork on the reformer can feel like a sense of relaxation or a sense of gratification as we begin our practice lying horizontal on our back. But there's a beautiful connection between mind and body where we begin to create internal heat with awareness, breath, and control. Parallel heels is our first variation that we are going to dive into. The purpose of footwork is to warm up the larger muscle groups, to prepare the body for what's to come. It also strengthens the ankles, knees, and hips as we move with deliberate control. Our breath and engagement of the pelvic floor will also help to create pelvic stability, and this is important when it comes to having strong hips, a strong pelvis, because the pelvis acts as a shock absorber to the lower limbs as we walk, run, and jump. It also acts as a bowl to support the spine. Footwork is generally thought of as a leg exercise, which is why the hamstrings, the back of the thighs, and quads, front of the thighs, are the main muscle focus. The heavier the spring load is, the more leg focused this exercise becomes. But if you are wanting to receive an ab focus objective, then the lighter the springs are, the more control with the pace of bending and straightening the knees will have to be executed. Things to think about are keeping the arms long and straight, resting with the palms down, just beside the hips. Focus on the shoulders rolled back and the chest open. Imagine that someone is gently pulling at the top of your head to help elongate the back of your neck. Visualize the bottom of your feet are maintaining connection with the wall in front of you in order to minimize ankle movement. This will help target any weakness in the ankles to fully support an increase in mobility and balance. As you move through each repetition, discover the initial engagement coming from the core, specifically our deepest ab stabilizer and deepest back stabilizer. When the core muscles are engaged and not forgotten, the flow of footwork becomes a combination of moving the carriage smoothly and intentionally. This will complement our form and alignment, benefiting the muscles surrounding the joints of the ankles, knees, and hips. This will also decrease the risk of wear and tear on the joints, or even in some cases, injury. As we elevate from the foundation of footwork, we can add in props to assist in maintaining better alignment or just even to provide a more challenging experience for additional muscles to activate. This is where a ball can be used between the ankles and knees to awaken the inner thigh muscles and sleepy ankle muscles. Same as if you replace the ball with a magic circle, but keep in mind the level of concentration the magic circle will require. If the goal is to strengthen the outer part of the hips and thighs, then a resistance band can be used around the ankles or just over the knees. Let's take a look at parallel toes, and most of what we just discussed will pertain to parallel toes. There are a few additional benefits. Now, the purpose here is to create a longer travel distance, and with that being said, this will also strengthen and challenge the intrinsic, deeper muscles of the feet. We want to encourage that all toes are maintaining a firm connection to the foot bar, that the toes are not lifting away from the foot bar, and that we are exercising each of the bones in the toes. This can be a challenge for some. It can feel quite hard. It can feel as if the knees can't straighten out all the way in order not to risk the toes lifting. Overall, parallel toes is a benefic variation to increase ankle stability, and we can feel that by maintaining a high heel position. If lack of flexibility in the ankle, or if you have quite a bit of flexibility in the ankle, then we want to challenge the heels to stay in a lower degree, or as some may resonate with, the height of a church heel. The last variation I want to discuss in today's tutorial is V position. This can be done on the heels and also the toes. The main purpose of V position is to strengthen and activate the inner thighs to assist in creating pelvic stability. This is where you want to think about pulling up a zipper starting at the ankles all the way up towards the pelvic floor. So in addition to the muscle focus being the hamstrings and quads, this variation will also feel the adductors known as the inner thighs. The pages you have seen today are from Function Pilates Teacher Training Manual, and if you haven't done so already, I invite you to check out my online course discussing more about the anatomy of Pilates and a breakdown of each mat and reformer exercise in detail. This is where we will go over the setup of the exercise and discuss the purpose, muscle focus, and spring recommendations in the Pilates Teacher Training course. As a Pilates enthusiast and student, you can choose between the mat option or mat and reformer bundle. This is a great tool for not only knowing how to get the most of your own personal practice, but an invitation to see if becoming a Pilates instructor is in your energy. So I have this course for you. It's being offered at $50 off using coupon code LEARN. And I loved creating this course for you because I remember back in 2008, when I was a client myself, I would have loved learning a deeper understanding of why I was doing the exercises and if I was doing them right, plus having access to look back at any time to gain a new perspective on each exercise as I grew with my Pilates journey. So the Pilates Teacher Training course is an excellent tool, and remember, when you buy it once, you will have lifetime access to keep coming back to learn. I will put the link to the 2 teacher training courses I offer in the description box, along with the coupon code LEARN, so you can save $50 off. Thank you again for joining me, wishing you a beautiful journey as you dive into a deeper understanding of the background of Pilates. I hope it gifts you with some very wise insights and understandings. So take good care, and I will see you back here very soon.